A baker slides his last loaf into the oven. A child chases a dog through a narrow alley. A woman fastens her gold bracelet, preparing for a dinner party she will never attend. It is August 24th, 79 AD. In 12 hours, every one of them will be dead. Not from war, not from plague, but from a mountain they had lived beside their entire lives. A mountain so green, so quiet, so ordinary, that no one alive remembered it could kill. This is the last day of Pompeii. And by the time the sun rises again, this city of 20,000 souls will no longer exist. Pompeii in the summer of 79 AD is thriving. Nestled along the Bay of Naples in southern Italy, it's a city of merchants and craftsmen, slaves and senators, prostitutes and priests. The streets are loud, the air smells of bread, fish sauce, and donkey dung. Graffiti covers the walls, election slogans, love poems, crude jokes about the neighbors. The markets are packed. Wine flows from taverns. In the forum, men argue politics while women haggle over cloth. Children splash in public fountains. It's a Tuesday, or rather the 9th day before the calends of September by the Roman calendar, and there is absolutely nothing unusual about it. Except for one thing. For days now, the wells have been running dry. Dogs are restless. The ground has trembled, but earthquakes are common here. 17 years earlier, a massive quake damaged much of the city. They rebuilt. They moved on. The mountain to the north, Vesuvius, has always been there, covered in vineyards, silent. No Roman alive knows what a volcano is. The word doesn't even exist yet. To them, Vesuvius is simply a mountain, a good mountain. The soil on its slopes grows the finest grapes in Campania. They have no idea they are living on a bomb. Around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the mountain speaks. It doesn't rumble. It doesn't growl. It explodes with a force 500 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. A column of superheated gas, ash, and pulverized rock shoots 19 miles into the sky. It punches through the atmosphere like a fist. In Pompeii, people stop what they're doing. They look up. The sky is wrong. At first, many think it's a strange cloud, a dark pine tree of smoke and ash spreading its branches across the heavens. The sun dims, then vanishes, and then the stones begin to fall. Pumice, light, porous volcanic rock, rains down on the city. At first, it seems almost harmless. Children probably picked it up, turned it over in their hands, but the pumice keeps falling. 1 inch per hour, then 2, then 4. Within 2 hours, the streets are ankle deep. Within 4, it reaches your knees. Roofs begin to groan. Flat Roman roofs were not built for weight. Some collapse inward, crushing families who had taken shelter inside. Others hold, but doors become blocked. People who stayed indoors are now trapped. Those who fled into the streets face a different nightmare: total darkness, choking dust, and a relentless bombardment of stone. Across the bay in Misenum, a 17-year-old boy named Gaius Plinius watches the eruption unfold. We call him Pliny the Younger, and his letters to the historian Tacitus are the only eyewitness account of the disaster that survives. He describes the cloud as unlike anything he had ever seen. He describes the panic, people screaming, praying, cursing the gods. His uncle, Pliny the Elder, commands the Roman fleet stationed at Misenum. When he sees the eruption, he does something extraordinary. He orders his ships to sail toward the disaster. Not away from it, toward it. He wants to rescue survivors. He wants to witness the phenomenon firsthand. It will cost him his life. By midnight, the pumice has piled 6 feet deep. Many who could flee have fled. Many who couldn't are already dead, crushed, suffocated, or buried alive. Those who remain, perhaps 2,000 people, are huddled in cellars, bathhouses, any shelter they can find. They are waiting for it to stop. They believe the worst is over. They are catastrophically wrong. Just after midnight, the eruption column, that towering pillar of ash and gas, becomes too heavy to support itself. It collapses, and when it falls, it doesn't drift down like snow. It races outward at nearly 500 miles per hour, a superheated avalanche of gas and rock reaching temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a pyroclastic surge, and it is unsurvivable. The first surge hits Herculaneum, the smaller town closer to Vesuvius. People hiding in boat sheds along the shore die instantly, not from burning but from thermal shock. The heat is so intense that their brains boil. Their skulls explode. Their bodies are frozen in the exact positions they were in when the surge arrived. Pompeii is farther away. For a few hours, it is spared, but between 6 and 7 in the morning, the surges reach the city. There is no escape, no shelter, no survival. The people who died in those final moments did not burn, they suffocated. The superheated air seared their lungs. They collapsed where they stood, where they knelt, where they held their children. The ash that followed buried them instantly, preserving the shapes of their bodies like plaster molds. A mother curled over her baby, a man clutching a bag of coins, two young girls embracing, a dog still chained to a post, twisted in agony. These are not statues. These are tombs, and the bodies inside them are still there. Pompeii is erased. Not destroyed, erased. 20 feet of volcanic debris buries the city so completely that within a generation no one can find it. The site becomes farmland, then forgotten. For nearly 1,700 years, Pompeii exists only as a name in old texts, a ghost story, a legend. Then in 1748, explorers begin to dig. What they find is impossible, a Roman city frozen in time. Bread still in the ovens, wine still in the cups, bodies still in the streets. The eruption that destroyed Pompeii also preserved it, in horrifying, exquisite detail. Every fresco, every inscription, every expression of terror on a victim's face. Archaeologists discover the cast technique by accident. When excavators pour plaster into the hollow cavities left by decomposed bodies, they create perfect replicas of the dead. A woman shielding her face, a child gasping for air, a man on his knees, head bowed, waiting for the end. Pliny the Elder's body is found days after the eruption, lying on a beach near Stabiae. He had collapsed from the fumes, unable to breathe. His nephew's letters remain our most valuable account of the disaster. A reminder that even in catastrophe, someone was watching, someone remembered. Pompeii teaches us something uncomfortable about disaster. It doesn't always announce itself. It doesn't always look dangerous at first. The people who died weren't fools. They were survivors. They had lived through earthquakes. They had seen strange signs and dismissed them, because humans always dismiss strange signs. The pumice seemed manageable. The darkness seemed temporary. The mountains seemed to be calming down. They waited, and waiting killed them. Today, 3 million people live in the shadow of Vesuvius. The volcano is still active. It will erupt again. The only questions are when and whether we will recognize the warning signs in time. Pompeii is not just a ruin. It's a message, written in ash and bone. A message that says, pay attention. The ground beneath your feet is never as stable as you think. And some mornings, the ordinary world ends without any warning at all.